How's it going, everyone? Hopefully today I went live with my microphone enabled. I do see the green bar moving, so it looks as if that is the case. Let me know though. Is the sound good? Is the video good? Did I screw anything up? How's it going, your average player? Let me see if my overlay, we got the overlaid chat working. So feel free to leave your questions in chat as we go along. I do have a couple topics for the day. How's it going, Julia? I have a couple topics ready for the day, but I'm also, as always, ready for any of your questions, any and all of your questions. So appreciate you letting me know how it's going. You got a, I don't know what that guy's name is, but that's from Dexter's Laboratory, right? O'Farrell. That looks like very Dexter's Laboratory-esque. The beard's good and sounds good. That's good. I appreciate it. How's it going, Shadowless Jack? Just another day on that grind. Just finished off. One of my topics for the day was consignments. I do have some pretty nice consignments sitting in front of me that I'm going to show off. Trying to bring all the value that I can to my consigners, getting their items sold. Smooth sailing so far. But yeah, I think it's cool to be able to feature one of them. Shout out Echo-based Collectibles. Joe's a great guy. Had him on the podcast before. Been on various lives with him. Really cool to get a big batch of unique stuff from him. He sent me 200 slabs almost, just shy of 200 slabs, and there's some like items that I have never owned and probably will never own. Just like very niche, a lot of staff stuff. Your average player with a question that feels very timely. Autographs have been all the rage lately. So, question for Dan, when do you think a grade can hurt the price of an autographed card? I've always been one that is like, put the grade on the slab. I think if you're paying for them to do their job, it doesn't cost any extra to just get the grade versus getting authentic. So I say go for it and put the grade. I guess, like, anytime I see authentic, I just assume it's like a 3 or less. So if it's a 4 or higher, I would be like, okay, yeah. If they graded like a near mint card, I mean, I've seen actually, and I've heard people say, if it's less than an 8, I do it. If it's less than a 9, I do it. Maybe if it's a super cheap card, I don't know. I guess if you're doing a base Zard, people would only care if the grade was like an 8, 9, or 10. So maybe don't do it. I'm just so far away from autographs that I probably don't have a good answer here. I probably should have prefaced all this with. But yeah, I would always throw the grade on it, and that just might be suboptimal in certain cases. But that's just my my opinion, my thought. Yeah, Echo's a great guy. Joe's a great guy. I am working continually on the lighting. I've got a box over here from Amazon that came the other day. All these different tripods and brackets to mount things, and all these 1/4 inch. All the lighting has like a 1/4 inch screw mount, a female mount. So I've just got all different kinds of brackets and stuff, trying to get everything optimally mounted, get all the cords out of my way, out of my face. But yeah, let me go to the desk cam view. Chat seems to be working, so I've got that up and running the way that it should be. I'm going to start to show you some of Joe's stuff. We'll start here. I did put another topic for the day, another fairly timely thing, is that TrollandToad EVO. Some people might not care at all, but if anyone has any questions about TrollandToad EVO, they are doing like a big purge of sellers. They're doing a big purge of sellers who don't meet certain requirements, who they're really paring it down. So yeah, I'm able to discuss that if anyone wants. I do see my face cam here is a little bit, maybe I'm just in the wrong spot. I think the face cam's kind of in the wrong spot. Yeah, it's just more zoomed in on this angle. We're going to leave it as is. But yeah, I don't know. The camera does feel, I moved it from one, I have dual monitors. I moved it from one monitor to the other. That monitor actually is slightly further back, so I guess it is very slightly wider. Not much wider at all, but I moved it. I can just barely reach it with my hand. I've not. I only have gotten one code. I've not purchased any codes. I've seen a lot of people talking about how to circumvent Pokemon Center's limit on one per address. I've only ever had one code, so I have no insight as to how to do that. How's it going, Koro Pokemon? Yeah, that's Suicune. I saw your Evolving Skies booster box in TrollandToad, and I threw it up in Discord to get sold immediately. Yeah, I only list one at a time in TrollandToad. I probably have like 30 to 40 of them there, but I do, just in case Evolving Skies goes to like 250 overnight, I try to not get sold out immediately on a price jump, so I go slow. Yeah, P-Bali. Getting booted off Evo next month. I was doing 10K in sales a year, so not surprising, but I wonder what the threshold was. Yeah, I have no idea what the threshold was. I'm not doing 10K a week yet, but I'm hopefully not too far away from doing like 10K a week. I heard, I don't think it's just sales volume alone. I think a lot of it is a combination of sales volume, average dollar amount per item, because they're raising the floor. I used to be able to list an item. I currently can list an item all the way down to 20 cents. I think you can go down only to 69 cents. They picked that number too. They picked the nice number. 69 cents will be the lowest you're able to go on TrollandToad. At least Evo. TrollandToad could always do like 19 cents. They could always go 1 cent under their merchants. I'm assuming they might go, I don't know if they'll still go down to 20 cents or what they'll do, but Evo merchants will be able to go no lower than 69 cents. Knowledge, how's it going? Shout out for anyone near a GameStop. Maybe it's time to run over there. Maybe right after this live. Maybe don't necessarily leave the live unless you can YouTube Premium. You can put it in your pocket while you're driving, play it through the radio with the screen turned off. But yeah, Charizard UPC pre-orders. Sounds like in stores. We're not in 1080. Let me double check my settings. If we're in 1080, we'd be lagging like crazy. My output is, wait, did I do 1080? No. My output's 720. I was gonna say there's no way we'd be functioning if we were in 1080. This is just 720. Knowledge paid in full. Yeah, I'd imagine if they ever have to cancel any, they would probably cancel the ones who didn't pay in full. So that's probably a pro tip right there from Knowledge. Yeah, appreciate the intel there. I sent mine in for grading. I paid $150 to grade it. It turned around within like a week and a half. I sold it for $670. Mine was a 10. I could tell like 90% chance it was going to be a 10, so I just YOLO'd it, threw it in, and it worked out well. Mr. Walrus, PK said that he paid in full. He recommended that you pay in full. Occasionally they might like cancel orders or something, so they'd probably not cancel the people that paid in full. You can only put down $5, but yeah, that probably put you on the shopping block. Oh, that's weird. Last time with Celebrations UPC, GameStop canceled many store orders, but they fulfilled online. That's really weird. But yeah, let me I mentioned 5 minutes ago I was gonna start showing the cards. Oh, I went to the wrong scene. John went for 4. I would hope that's their limit, because I would have went for higher than 4 if that wasn't their limit. But yeah, we got tons of goodies. 200 cards I listed in the last 2 days for Echo-based collectibles. Check out his YouTube. Check out his Instagram. Really cool content. As you'll see here, he has been staff at so many amazing events. The first 100 or so cards are his non-staff cards, but once we get to the end, he has just like heaps of staff cards that I never knew existed. Staffing regionals, states, cities, nationals, if I didn't already say that. He's got the obligatory commons and uncommons. His are at least Expedition, Skyridge, Aquapolis. All mine are like Jungle, Rocket, Fossil. So like Echo has quality. With his Watsy non-hollows, he goes for the more quality, higher end e-reader sets at least. He's got some. One of my other consigners has a lot of reverse holo legendary collection too. So he's got some of that himself. Good inventory, people always like to see. We'll try to get through at least one stack before we go back to questions or anything. So let me get a little bit ahead. Let me go through a couple stacks here. We got base set first edition, PSA 7, and all these are on eBay. There should be an affiliate link in my description. So if you want to find any of these, they should be on my eBay. Lowest priced on eBay, as I always sell. I price stuff to sell. I'm not looking to hold on to it really, especially when it's other people's cards. He does have a little bit of gym challenge, so he's got some of the lower tier. Still PSA 10 though. PSA 10, a lot of those are still doing pretty well, even in spite of the backlog mostly being done. A lot of these are anywhere between 50 and 150 bucks. These PSA 10 non-holo first editions. Oh wow. PK said no limit. We got some unlimited Neo Destiny. Again, Neo era, really cool to see. I never had too much inventory of that. Got some random stuff in the way. There's our whole first. So I keep these like I keep my own inventory. I keep them in the graded shoe boxes. This was one row of 4. Clay, I think he ordered in person for GameStop, so I don't think it's necessarily available online. Yeah, that was stack 1. I don't really see any new questions. Let me no limit. That is wild. Canada had a limit of 1. Yeah, if they have no limit, that's crazy to me. People are gonna go in there and say like I want 100, and then hopefully they just won't fulfill the 100 person and they fulfill all the others. But if somebody goes first and they say they want 100 and prepay, how does that work? I have no idea. Yeah, in store only, so no link. Yeah, Joe sent me some great stuff. Let's continue on. Let's continue on with Neo Destiny. Got Espeon, Umbreon, Arcanine, like iconic arts. I really love the Neo Destiny holos. They're not the shinings, but they are great in their own right. You will see there's a lot of mid-gen. There's a lot of EX era. This is inventory that I'm not too deep on myself. So to get a consignment submission that is significantly like more diverse from my inventory is great, because then there's not like duplication. There's not duplication. There we go. Play with the pro strats. Continuing to watch the stream while sending his wife. That's a pro strat right there. Not have to miss anything. Some EXs anywhere from PSA 8 to PSA 10, I think. Most of the EX cards. The old school EX, not new school, not the brand new stuff we're getting with Scarlet and Violet, the original. It'll be interesting to see if these have any effect, how they do when the new style, the third iteration of EXs come out, because you had the lowercase EX with the original, and then you had the uppercase EX with XY era, black and white era, and then you lost it at Sun and Moon. They went to the GX, and then they're doing like the new EX style again. You even got some swirls. That swirl caught my eye there. We got a couple. We do have duplication on some of them. So in cases of duplication, like if you're looking to send to me, again, the link to send me a buy it now consignment submission, that's in the description as well. If you have 2, I could list them both. It's up to you. I think the best strategy, and what I always do for my own inventory, I list 1 and I just put the cert number so that I don't screw up, like fulfill the wrong item. And then if and when that one sells, I just like the next week or whatever, I pop in the new one with the new photos, and then you go from there. That way you're not competing with yourself. If you have 1 item and you list it at 500 bucks, I think it's more likely to sell than if you list 2 items, both for 500 bucks, that are then competing with themselves. Some of these too, you'll see like a fair bit of duplication. He really had like these Cosmos variant, Flygon Hollow, Cosmos variant, what was the other one? Salamence Hollow. I don't know if those came from a special blister or special tin or whatever the case was, but they're labeled as a Cosmos variant, so it must be theme deck or blister or something like that of some kind. And then you got a little bit of mid-gen platinum era. Really cool that the Black Star promo, and then they rehashed like the jungle art and the base set art for the Hitmonchan. Really cool cards that you don't see every day. There we go. There's the man himself. We got Echo-based collectibles in the house. Oh, they came from League. Yeah. The next stack that I show you, there's going to be, yep, Julia as well. They came from League promos. So it's great to have Echo in here, giving you some of the history as I show off what he's got going on. This next stack is like, it was a little bit tedious to list, but some really, like this card, I never even knew it existed. It's a 2007 Professor Rowan Professor program from 2007 to 2008. It's got that special stamp on it. Really cool, like niche, unique. PSA 4, not the greatest grade there. Must have been a dent that was missed, but like a yeah, state, province, territory stamped staff Luxio. Like really unique, really niche league promos, crosshatch league promos. We got regional championships, Shelgon. We've got Electivire regional champs. We've got it in any grade you'd like. We got 7, 8, 9. Pick your poison. We've got Dratini staff from city championships. Like some of these, as far as like very niche, they might be slow movers. But if you're a Dratini collector, if you're an Electivire collector, these are things that are probably relatively hard to find in higher grade. I mean, generally these are a lot of like PSA 8, PSA 9 grades. So these are like great cards that I'm sure the pops are relatively low. I mean, I'm not advocating anything as far as future value goes, but if you want an option to buy these, like these are significantly more scarce, hard to find than like any given set card. These are just unique layer of like exclusivity due to the league ties, or especially staffing a league event, staffing a city championship. One of these actually sold, I think. Yeah, this one right here. We sold this one, Joe. We sold this one this morning. I think it went for $400. Like, for me to look at this card, it does have a staff stamp, so 400 isn't that surprising. But for someone to tell me this is $400, like that was kind of surprising to me. And some of these ones are all the way down to maybe 50. Some of them are all the way up to 700 or 800. Really cool diversity. One thing that's come up, and I've had a couple people ask, is like, what do I do if and when someone sends the same card that I already have on consignment? And it did happen. I forget which card it is exactly, but it's one of the reverse hollow PSA 9s. I literally I photograph it the same way. It has a different suffix because each consigner has a separate suffix, and I put it in a separate inventory box so that I don't mix things up. But I priced them the same. People can see the photos of both. If one's stronger, theoretically, that one should sell first, but I'm not going to have like one consigner undercut the other. If you're concerned and if you don't want duplication, you can never help what someone else on eBay might list. You can never help what I might get in consignment later, but you can always check my store, see if I have it, and if you don't want to send it because I already have one, I mean, that's fair. But yeah, that's another thing that hasn't come up yet, but it likely will come up someday. What happens if I own an item that I'm selling in my store and someone tries to consign it with me? I'll be open to whatever you want to do. If you want to undercut me, I will just keep mine fixed and you can undercut me. That's fine with me. Or we can match it. We can do kind of the same thing. If you want more than I'm listing it at, ideally, I mean, maybe don't send it to me, especially if I have multiple of them. But if you want to price yours higher than mine, I mean, that's reasonably fair too. If it's something that I have like 50 of and I'm going to keep them at the same price always, probably just best not to send it to me. But yeah, it's very open to negotiate like special circumstances, but we'll continue here through the obscure niche but really interesting promos and staff stamped variants that Joe sent me. We got a regional golem. You can tell the eras. I mean, he staffed events during a lot of the downtimes in Pokemon. We've got a lot of 04 to 09 type years on these, and it's just really cool to see. I mean, some really popular species as well. I think is he trying a legendary? I think he might be a legendary or like a almost like a semi-legendary, like a Dragonite maybe. Melodic, Dragonair. We got some really popular species. Gengar. I think I did have this in CGC grade. I think that sold though. I forget what it went for. I think these are up for like 200 each maybe, if I remember right. We got Leafeon. Again, Evolution, Staff pre-released variant. Just really, really cool niche cards. Continuing on. We got Luxio, Electivire, Pillow-Swine, Swampert. We got a Gen 3 starter there. How's it going, Silent? Let me, after this stack, I'll catch up on chat. We got Metagross, Sceptile. So Pop Series 1. Pop is a fairly niche set of sets. Pop Series 1 to Pop Series 9. They were like 2-card booster packs. Really, really thin, flimsy booster packs that were given out in leagues in the mid, 2000 era when the hobby was a bit lower. But a lot of like, Rayquaza, again, not my favorite art of all Rayquazas, but it's definitely a pretty unique card that you don't see that much. Armaldo EX, pretty interesting Armaldo EX variant, and there are more in the next stack. Yellow border though, like it's the Old Skool EX, but it's a Pop Series 1. You could get this, I believe, I believe for all of them, you could get them in either the yellow border variant or the silver border variant. I think the yellow borders came from the packs, and then the silver borders came from like tins or blisters. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm sure someone in chat knows more than I do, but I'm pretty sure that every one of those from the Pop series is available both as silver border and yellow border. Let me catch up on chat for a couple minutes. There's only one small stack left for Joe's submission, and then there is like a couple other, one other loose card that's a pretty big card for consignment. Let's see where we're at. So are the Arceus? Oh yeah, I actually got some of those. I saw the Arceus Ultra Premium Collection was available. I think those were $100 a piece. I bought like 5 of them. I think that's what the limit was. I pre-ordered those myself recently. Yeah, the promos came from leagues. Pokeknowledge. Pokeknowledge really bringing the Pokeknowledge in here. He's got the SKU for you if anyone tries to give you any issues at GameStop. So he's got the SKU there. Jot that down before you head out. Text that to the wife if she's already on the way to go get your Charizard UPC pre-ordered. Yeah. When you're talking 2004 to 2008, that whole era, and then it's like staff for an event. Those have got to be, like, I'm not going to speculate as to what the total print run of one of those would be, but very, very low relative to like set cards. It's not going out on a limb to say that. Java got 2. He was allowed to pre-order at his, so it sounds like it's a store-by-store basis. It's not like a universal GameStop policy. Love the Garchomps, cool staff promos. Ancient Muse going to GameStop right now. Yeah, the silver border is 3-pack blister exclusive. The yellow borders is the league packs and actually rare. So yeah, the yellow border you have to get from actually opening the packs. I thought so. Yep. That was what I was fairly certain, but I wasn't positive. So nice thing about pop packs is that they're unweighable because there's non-hollows. That's a great thing about the Espeon and Umbreon Gold Stars. It would be great in many respects if they were hollow because they're beautiful cards and they'd be really cool to just see that hollow variant. I guess you can get that in the Japanese play promos, but the fact that they're not weighable, the fact that you can buy a Pop Series 5 pack today, even though it's going to set you back $500, you can get the true odds of approximately 1 in 40 is what I've heard. Approximately 1 in 40 odds to pull an Espeon or an Umbreon. I believe that's for either, so it would be 1 out of 80 odds to get the specific one. There's actually, so I have a save search. It took me several months to get a Game Boy Color Kiwi sealed that I was happy with. One came up recently. I want to say it's about $600, which is about what I paid for this, but it had a sticker on it. They peeled the sticker off the front, and just like a huge, like Cam is actually in here. I'll get to that comment in a second. Cam is in here. How, like, if you peel a sticker off and it takes the case with it, and now you see the brown cardboard underneath, that has to be so much lower value than if you were to just leave the sticker on, because the grading companies will actually grade them with stickers. One thing I remember hearing, I listened to all of James and Cam's content pretty much. I remember hearing them say at one point or another, sometimes if there will be a small tear or a small scratch on a sealed game, a lot of people will just like put a price tag on it, because a price tag detracts from value less than a big issue with the box or with the seal. So maybe there's a play there. The green shiz. Maybe Josh is gonna go on eBay, buy that lime or kiwi Game Boy Color, and then put a big fat price sticker on it where you can see the bare cardboard. But yeah, this one's not for sale right now. I might get it graded with VGA. I did see CGC just came out with their new cases. I don't know if they're only gonna do games or if they'll do consoles as well. This one's so small that like it's N64 box or some huge console box like that. I could see having a harder time getting the cases made up for it, but hopefully they'll do the console for this. Maybe it's too niche though, I don't know. But yeah, Cam asking how's the fam. Yesterday I was mowing my lawn. I still haven't finished. I listened to like the first hour and a half of James and Cam's live, and then I had to run to the post office at the end of my day. And then when I got back like 20-30 minutes later, I mowed my lawn for an hour, and they were still going, so I popped that on, and I was just I've been I've been busting Cam's chops, because all these cards that I'm showing you of Joe's, why don't we just do this last stack as I give this little story here. Oh, Joe's actually heading out too, so let me finish his last stack while he's here. But a couple more Pop 1 cards as we go. Or not Pop 1. Pop Series 1. Some of these may be Pop 1, but they're definitely not all Pop 1. They are Pop Series 1 though, however. Very important distinction between Pop 1 and Pop Series 1. A lot of 10s, some duplications, some 9s. Pretty cool to see. So there's all Joe's cards. But yeah, I've been busting Cam's chops because he does all the listing, for anyone who doesn't know, with James over at Z&G Emporium for their auction consignments. If you want to do auctions, send to James and Cam. If you want to do buy it now, send to me. Link in the description. But yeah, I've been busting his chops about the fact that I'm still listing on eBay's old listing style, and I listed like 300 cards in the past 2 days, that's the most cards I've listed in a 2-day period, maybe ever. Because when I'm doing work for someone else, I'm not going to procrastinate it. I'm just going to get it done. I have over here like 3 shoeboxes of my own cards to list. But he didn't take too well to me trashing him for having the new style and being able to list so slow. So he wished ill on my family, and he wished ill on my business and on my household, and obviously just joking, but it was really funny to come in and ask how the fam was, that he was trying to tear apart, hoping my business would go under when I go to the new listing format. On that though, Cam, I looked into it a little bit this morning. Something on my short list of things to do is to look at the bulk uploading tool, and maybe I'll make a video on it. Maybe it will be a very timely video. I'm putting a note on my desktop sticky notes, but it might be a very timely video to drop one like next week on how to bulk list with eBay. Because if everyone's hating the new eBay listing format, and if everyone's been forced over to it, it's probably a better time than any to get it sorted out and to do it. Uh-oh. Let me know if I'm lagging. My internet just for a very short moment there went like all the way down to 0. Hopefully I'm not lagging too bad. But I do see on the other screen, it looks like I'm lagging a little bit. I'm going to pause that some, so hopefully that doesn't slow down. Download shouldn't affect upload. But anyways, I forget where I was now. Oh, yeah. The bulk upload tool. eBay has a tool, kind of like TrollandToad, for anyone who's used it. You can adjust all your prices all at once. You can you can actually create hundreds of listings, if not thousands of listings at a time. Basically, you download a CSV of your listings. There's an item title. There's a duration, price, description. Like there's literally everything you would need. There's a column for it, and then you just fill row by row is each listing. So I mean, if you do one row, you could do one listing at a time. You could do 1,000 rows though. How the pictures work exactly, I kind of forget. I definitely did it years ago when I was selling, like when I was doing the Old Skool Pokemon game. When I was selling like $1.19 play sets of trainers, when I was selling singles from the set, single hollows for like $1.99, whatever it was, I was bulk uploading those like 50 at a time. I just don't remember how the pictures were done. I don't know if you had to use, like, maybe you upload them all and then you point to each of them. I don't know if you need to use like an Imgur. I don't even know if they allow for that anymore, because eBay hosts their own photos as far as I understand. I mean, you upload them directly to eBay in the listing. Maybe you can point to external hosted ones though. I'm not positive, honestly. But I'll have to dive back into that, and I'll let you know what I find, Cam. So that neither of us can end up unemployed. we don't want to end up unemployed over eBay having a faulty listing system. Cam absolutely needs a cam. There you go. Colt got his pre-ordered. Clay got his pre-ordered. Yeah, the bulk uploading. I don't know. Like I love spreadsheets. I think it definitely has a look, like a very ancient look. There's literally no user interface. There's no, like you mentioned, the look of the new eBay uploading thing, the new eBay listing feature is like better looking, but all about the function is worse. So Excel would be like the epitome of worse looking, but higher functioning. I mean, if it works, it works. It is the whole point of it. So I'm all about function, not fashion. So I mean, that's what this whole beard is. It's just I'm too lazy to shave, so I'm gonna go for the homeless look to save a little time every morning getting ready. Yeah, the only positive thing I heard in 60 plus comments on my post was the new format is more visually appealing, but quite literally everything else was people complaining or recommending alternatives. So yeah, like a lot of people would probably complain about the look of an Excel spreadsheet, a CSV file, for uploading your listings, but if it works, it works. I don't care what it looks like. If it works and it's more efficient and it's quicker, I'm all about it. I don't care about the looks. Same camera. It's just slightly closer. I'm on 720p as always. Same camera. I think the lighting's a little bit better. I do have like, I have Elgato. I have like this fancy Elgato control center. Let me see if I can just show. Like I can change the colors. See the green. We got the red. I can turn lights on and off individually. I'm probably gonna like do this and then it's just like not gonna come back. But I have a lot of freedom. Some of the lights you can barely even see when I turn them on and off. But I do have much better lighting setup than I've historically had. I'm trying to make it better every day for your viewing pleasure. CSV anything is the best. How much lower do the eBay rates get when you are a business? I know they have different tiers. I've heard of like Probstein is charging 5% now, or they had a promotion where they were charging 5% on certain dollar amounts. PWCC used to have a very low negotiated rate as well. I've heard some things as low as 2 or 3%. I don't know how true that is, but if Probstein is to have a margin at 5%, who knows? And maybe that was just a short-term promotion he had as well. But I would be very, very confident that at minimum like 5%, definitely. People we pay 12, 13% is our default. There are definitely people out there paying 5%, if not less. That's just not me though. I'm not anywhere near there. I would think James has mentioned his number. I'm not like spilling inside info. He's talked publicly a couple times about how he sold like $1 million year to date through his auction consignment service. And I think he was saying that a few months ago. So I think he's on pace for maybe $2 million for the year. And eBay's not reaching out to him to give him better rates. So if and when they do, like that'll be great for him because he could lower his rates. I actually talked about this on PokeFlips last episode last week. If and when that ever comes for me, or if and when it ever comes for him, you can be more competitive by lowering your rates, what you charge to consigners, and you can also net more. Because I mean, if your fees get cut 7%, you can lower your fees 2.5% to the consumer and pocket an extra 5%, or vice versa, however you want to do it. Yeah. Rusty's mentioned before too. Again, this isn't like private information. I don't know his rate. Even if I did, that would be private information, but he's not told me because you can't. You like sign an NDA and all that stuff, I believe. But he has mentioned publicly that he is like I mean he did all that promotion around the eBay vault as well too. He was in a couple videos or something. But yeah, he gets a lower rate. I don't know what it is. That would be like a mid to longer term goal for me as a business. If I could scale to being a contracted thing, that would be so amazing. Just to instantly become more profitable on everything that I sell overnight, that would be amazing. Northwoods, I just watched your series. Shout out Northwoods TCG. Last week he featured me, last Wednesday. Just last night he featured Mason from Cardinal Gaming on a new series that he's doing, kind of like talking to different sellers, different people who interact with selling Pokemon in different areas of the business. Like I'm an online retailer, at home, work from home guy, and then he had Mason, who's a card shop owner, dual card shop owner. He owns 2 locations, and then he's doing Retrospects next, who does a lot of like grading. So yeah, really really cool to be a part of that series that he's got going on. Go check out what Andy's got going on over there at Northwoods TCG. Let me see if I've missed any other comments. Yeah, I have periodically done a little bit of like on the fly troubleshooting with my 50 viewers, but I thankfully about half an hour before I started the live stream, I turned off the room lights and I turned on the Elgato lights, and I played around with myself, the lights myself for a while, so that I didn't have to bother 50 people to figure out the lights. Color me impressed. Oh, here we go. Josh with a great question. What is the best way to avoid paying taxes when selling Pokemon cards? Very, very common question that a lot of people want to know. I am not your guy for that. I pay all my taxes, IRS. Go get the Green Shiz Collectibles. I think he's got his own channel. If I were the IRS, I would go check that out and see what he's got going on over there. But I pay all my taxes. It's the patriotic thing to do. Here we go. Cam with an updated number. We're at 1.3 or 1.4 million, and we don't get responses to our emails, so we're a far cry away from lowered rates. I think you mentioned, though, Cam, or maybe James did, you guys have had like Zoom chats with eBay representatives, right? I've had one, or no, I've had a couple. It's been a few months though. I'm surprised they haven't reached out to me again. Maybe I fell off their list of people they want to work with. But just like optimizing promotions, optimizing the use of coupons and things like that. I don't know. Seeing that you're at 1.3 or 1.4 though, and not getting any traction on that makes me feel that feels bad, because let me pull up my number. Let me see. I'm not going to guess. Yeah, IRS has entered the chat. Year to date. Where's my year to date? I got to change it this year. Oh, yeah. I'm not half that. So I am like, it's probably not a very reasonable goal for me to shoot for contracted rates. Because I'm not very close to that. So I've got a long ways to go. Feels pretty bad. Yeah, maybe. I mean, I would hit up, if I were James, I would hit up Rusty. Maybe he can provide, well, I don't think he's allowed to provide anything, but maybe a very ballpark estimate as to when you might expect to be reached out to. I actually asked my rep, maybe that's why they quit calling me. I'm like, hey, I know that this is a thing. I didn't name drop anybody because they're not supposed to talk about it really, I don't think, but like, I know some people, what, am I close? Can I ever expect? They're like, don't call us, we'll call you. And then they stopped calling me to have the Zoom chat. So maybe I asked the question I shouldn't have asked. But that's where I'm at with eBay contracted rates. There you go. PK with the hookup. If you need to go to GameStop and pre-order the Zard UPC, I had it on screen here earlier. Let me see if I can pop it back up real quick. But PK, bringing the pokey knowledge, as his name says, he gave us the SKU right there, 342973. Jot that down. Send your significant other to GameStop or drive with this playing through your radio in your car. Don't turn the stream off, but go get that pre-ordered if you haven't yet. Let me catch up with chat. Hey, Ava's Binder. Nice to see you. This morning, I just watched your spreadsheet video on Lost Origin. I actually do have a couple boxes of Lost Origin here. Ava gave me some financial advice, said that it's plus EV, plus 29% EV, I think it was, as of her video. So maybe I'm going to rip that to make 29% on my money. Thanks for the financial advice. Yeah, thanks for having me on, Andy. No problem. Java's got a nice channel himself over there. I heard the other day he's got a short with 1 million views. Quite impressive. Mine didn't even get 1,000. It is what it is. Yeah. Anthony Henry Hoover's end goal is also to be a contracted eBay seller. So my quitting time is 4:30. I will not be working overtime today, so we got about another 75 minutes. Quite a bit of time still. We got 75 more minutes for a stream. Oh, here we go. So that was Astral Radiance. I listened in the background. It was a spreadsheet video, so I did have to look some. Got the nice alternating colors going on. I didn't pay clearly enough attention though, because I didn't even know what set it was. That was Astral Radiance. Java wants me to rip a box. That was at release too. Okay. So yeah, it is a hot potato game. When you're ripping boxes, selling singles, you want to be like first to market. Because as time goes on, unless you're talking about Moonbryon, unless you're talking about right now Giratina Alt Art and Aerodactyl Alt Art, usually the prices just go like this. But when PokeRev has a stream to 10,000 concurrent viewers, and he does not pull Alt Art Aerodactyl in, what was it, 66 boxes? Maybe we will. I have 2 boxes here. Maybe we'll have to make a short and then at Rev, try to blow up a short by at and Rev like I did my last one and it didn't work. When I pulled a base unlimited Charizard with him on stream. Yeah, maybe I'll pull an alt art Aerodactyl and then make a short out of it to try to get those big views. It is like a $200 card right now. So I have 2 boxes. I would break even on these 2 boxes alone with 1 card if I pulled an alt art Aerodactyl. But PokeRev opened 66 boxes. He was live for like 11 hours and he did not pull one. So that's why that one's like stunk into the moon. Lost Origin is minus 1%. Pretty common. That's the way it works. It's slightly plus EV generally for people. That's before fees too. It's slightly plus EV for the people that are buying it like for 75 bucks a box and breaking 20 cases of it at release. And then it's just like a downhill battle from there. That's selling every common card, not liable for damages. Yeah, that's the way it goes. Let me catch back up on some of this earlier chat. I don't sell cards, I just trade for cash. Again, the green shiz, this is not tax advice. I pay taxes. So when I consign an item for somebody, like say I sell, the way my fees work, let me shout out my service. If I sell a $100 card for you, my fee is a flat 20%. So I sell a $100 card, $100 comes into my eBay account minus fees. So $87.50 comes into my eBay account. I have to pay like $4 for shipping. So now I'm down to like 83. I literally make like $3 on a $100 card sale. I make $3. So $80 I pay out to the consigner, $17 goes to fees in eBay, and $3 goes into my pocket. On my net, that $3 net profit, I pay taxes because it shows up on my eBay 1099. I show the $100 sale minus all the fees, minus the consigner payout, and $3 is my net profit. Again, none of this is tax advice. This is just how it works for me. Obviously, it takes the same amount of time to sell a more expensive item as a less expensive item. So that's why I have a minimum. I have a $100 minimum for cards that I'll sell. And if you're sending in, you can't sell like one $100 card because I only make $3. It needs to have a $250 average because I'm making more money there and it's more worthwhile for my time. So I talked to my accountant though. I said, hey, I'm going to be doing a consignment service. If and when I start doing this, because this was like 2 months ago, I consult with professionals. I don't just say it. I actually practice it. I practice what I preach. And this is not tax advice for you, but my accountant said I will not have to 1099 anyone if I consign their items for them. I pay them out money. However I pay them out, it's on them to report. So anyone who consigns through me, legally speaking, you have to report all that. I'm not going to chase you. Like, it's not my business. It's between you and the IRS. But legally speaking, I do not have to 1099 anyone. That's my understanding. That's my accountant's understanding. Let's get off of the tax stuff now. But yeah, the Zoom chats, they're mostly like advertising for their own. Like, hey, instead of paying us 12%, put on promoted listings and pay us 17% instead. Put on a 5% promotion so that you pay us 17%. So, thoughts on the Little Mermaid remake? I don't know. I didn't know they were doing one. Sounds. I think a lot of those are poorly received by like our demographic because, oh, I love that movie. Don't ruin my childhood by making it bad. I have no real opinion on it though. I like Disney movies. If they make more of them, it's like if you don't like the remake, then don't watch it. Watch the original. If you do like it, then great. I'm surprised we haven't had thoughts on Disney TCG, Lorcana or whatever it's called. I have regular Zoom calls from the category manager for collectibles in the UK. I'm not even going to read that one out loud, but I'll put it on screen for a second. Admiral soft shilling. He's doing a soft shill on the creature deck cards, which he's known about for a long time. So he must own some now. He's doing the soft shill. Yeah, so we mentioned it and brought it up because we were very honest in that being a major goal for us. Any lower rates for us, just get passed to the consigner and give even more money to eBay. You guys would keep some of it though, right? Like, don't tell me if eBay calls you up tomorrow and they say, hey, we're going to knock 5% off your fee. Don't tell me you're going to fully lower the consignment rate by 5%. You're going to have to keep some of it. I'm not, like, I wouldn't even fault you. Like, that's the reasonable thing to do. Save them money, but make you more money too. It's a win-win in that scenario. So yeah, you can say you're a contracted seller, but can't go into any details. Then they pulled our stats up and told us how good of a seller we are and that we are the poster child of what they want in a collectible seller. And then they changed topics. So they blew all this smoke and they didn't actually do anything though. They didn't actually give you a better discount. What's the cost for or order at GS? GameStop. 120? 120 I believe is the retail on the Charizard Ultra Premium Collection. If this is the eBay case that I linked in Discord, that is still ongoing. That was literally like fresh as of this morning or yesterday morning, I forget. Basically what happened is an item was marked delivered and the buyer opened a case because they said that they didn't actually get it at their P.O. box. Some USPS worker at their post office wrote a letter to me saying that the item was indeed not delivered. So you have USPS tracking showing the item as delivered, and then you have a USPS worker who put his full name and he put his branch and he put all this good stuff. Like, so basically USPS is saying it's delivered and then USPS is saying it's not delivered. I'm assuming I'm going to win the eBay case because all a seller can do is get an item to show delivered on the carrier tracking. I can't go to his post office and make sure I see him. I can't go to him and go down to Texas to record him picking up the item in hand. That's not your job as a seller. Your job as a seller is to get the item marked as delivered, and then whether they get it or not functionally doesn't matter to you. I mean, I'd rather he get it, but It doesn't come down to like whether porch pirates steal it, whether someone at the post office steals it. I can't help that. That's just, yeah, it is what it is. Admiral gets all his financial advice from this channel. Please no, please no. I need to get, I used to have it on StreamYard. I had the banner. I need to work on that. That's one thing that I'm missing. I'm severely lacking banners that say not tax advice and not financial advice. I actually do. I don't know if I can get it all the way up to the camera. I have a Stream Deck now. I'm gonna get a button that I can press, and when I press it, like I have a scrolling banner for 30 seconds that just says not tax advice, or maybe a big sign that pops up with flashing lights, and it'll just be a button on my Stream Deck. I can't wait. I just need to figure it out. I tried doing it so I can turn my lights on and off with my Stream Deck. Like I just did that with my Stream Deck, which is cool. But I tried doing the scenes with it and it didn't work. I just need to figure out the integration into OBS and then I'll be rolling. Let's see. There we go. Ancient Mew. Shout out to Ancient Mew. What a great viewer. What a great sporadic live guest. Doesn't have his own channel yet. Maybe he will someday. Maybe we'll get a face reveal someday. But he is a sporadic live guest in his Master Chief helmet. And he's a great YouTube viewer because he kept me on Bluetooth the whole time he left. Keeping that watch time up. Keeping that viewer retention up. All good things. Oh, there we go. Rusty just pulled the Alta Aerodactyl. Like just now, I think Rusty actually does. Is Rusty streaming right now too? I stream on either Wednesday or Thursday afternoon, just when I'm free. Oh, it looks like he stopped streaming like 15 minutes ago. So he's not streaming now, but he must have pulled one today. Yeah, I think he streams every Thursday around this time. I try to not overlap with people, but it's like there's so many people. A lot of people go live at nights. My schedule might change to where I start working nights. So my lives might move from midday weekdays to actually like weeknight evenings. We'll have to see. But trying to like stagger around other people, it's just impossible. This was the only time I had to list these 200 cards for Echo. So this was the only time I was free to go live this week. Let me actually, I got one standalone consignment. Shout out Pokey Power-Ups on Instagram. High tier. Wrong scene again. High tier. I have not sold a PSA 10 Gold Star on my eBay in a long time. This is very, very rare inventory for me to have. One great part about the consigning service is that I get to handle things that I don't see every day. So much of what Echo sent me was like obscure staff stamped city, regional, state, national, whatever variants. PSA 10 Gold Star. I mean, I've owned PSA 9s before. I've owned PSA 10s of some Gold Stars. I don't think I've ever owned this one in a 10. So low list on eBay. If you're interested, feel free to reach out. Feel free to go buy it now on eBay. It's there. Oh yeah, Cool Trainer Ryan. That's like his card. Maybe I'll have to hit him up in the DMs and see if he wants to buy that. I know he's doing well with his box breaks and stuff. He's probably can pay with that with a video or two at the way he's going. But yeah, shout out Pokey Power-Ups on Instagram, and they said on Etsy as well. Hey Brandon, in between work meetings, thanks for stopping in. Yeah. Even if you don't pull it, even if you don't pull it, just put it on camera, put it on the thumbnail and say, did we pull it? And then just at the end of the video say, no, we didn't pull it. Just got to get the clicks, right? I pulled in within 60 packs, but I'm not a huge streamer. Walked into the plug. I think Dan is an undercover IRS agent. He just knows too much. I honestly don't. If this were a thing, they would go to PWCC first. They would go to Heritage first. They would go to. There are many bigger fish that they would fry, I think, before they would go after someone like me. They would go for James and Cam before they would go to me. As far as I understand, again, my account. This is not advice for anyone else. Anyone else doing consignments. This is what my accountant told me. This is not what any accountant told you. Whatever. I'm not having to get any information for 1099s. I take your cards, I sell them, I pay them. I do everything up and up on my end. I hope you do it up and up on your end. But if you don't, it's not my business. Don't ask, don't tell, whatever. I'm not, yeah. Filing taxes correctly is impossible, so I think you're right. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, the people who consign with me are responsible to report to the IRS, not me. Thoughts on Disney TCG? I like Disney. I'll probably look at it. My wife is much bigger into Disney than I am. My kids are big into Disney movies, so I'll probably look at it. But we'll see. It could change though. Like it absolutely could change. Who knows? Like it's only until recently. I mean, this year is the first year that PayPal will send out 1099s for sub 20K. Well, some states required it beforehand. I think like Massachusetts. I think $600 has been a thing for a few years in Massachusetts. It's so weird though. It all depends on legislation at the federal or state level. Some states have lower limits than others. If and when they ever tell me though, like if and when my accountant reaches out to me, or if and when there's a new IRS publication that says that I have to 1099 consigners when they send to me, when they sell through me, I will immediately pause all my listings. I will immediately reach out to every consigner and I will say, how do you want to proceed? And I know what the answer will likely be for some of them, and whatever, I'll just send them all back and that'll be it. But yeah, for today, as of right now, I'm doing it as of today's laws. Like all these things are dynamic. That's why you pay professionals, because these laws can change with the stroke of a pen, and being on the right side of the law, doing everything appropriately is very, very important to me as a business. It's very, very important to the long-term health of a business to not be put in jail, because it's hard to run a business from in jail. So I'm not looking to be there. I'm looking to do everything the right way. This stream is turning way too much into like tax conversations, not tax advice, but too much tax conversations. So maybe we'll rip a box to try to change the subject. But let me catch up on chat and maybe we'll rip a box. Let's see. Yeah, Julia might buy some of the Disney TCG when it comes out. I saw that they released like 6 promos. Some of them were even signed by some of the creators or whatever. I think they're going for like a couple $1,000s for the set or something crazy. Like there's no way in this environment. Like people give MetaZoo a lot of flack because it's so stonky, it's so this, it's so that. Lorcana, however you say it, Disney's TCG will be so stonk doggy. Everyone's gonna be going to the moon. Like nothing can come out in this environment. We can't have nice things because everyone is just like in that mood now. It's like an NFT, GameStop, Bitcoin, Shiba Inu coin world we live in, where everyone is just trying to 10x their money the next day. So like I'll be very interested to see if and when Disney gets hate for being like stonked on and being like all the things that MetaZoo got hate over for, in my opinion, what was like unpreventable. Like there's no way that something could come out in this day and age and not have those like issues around it. Just prices going obscene, going crazy. The only way to get around that would be to print it into the ground and to just self-destruct your own TCG by printing way too much of it. Like MetaZoo used, I'm gonna try to not turn this into too much of a MetaZoo rant, but MetaZoo for the first year was like, oh, it's artificial scarcity, they're not printing enough, blah blah blah, it's garbage, it stonks, it's whatever. And now they're like, everyone's saying, oh, they're printing way too much, they're stupid, why are they doing this, why are they mismanaging it, why are they killing? You can't just print things at a snap of your fingers. Like you need to forecast out future demand. And so for the first year they were being crapped on for printing too little, and now they're being crapped on for printing too much. It's like, what do people want? There's no like winning. There's no winning. There's no right way to do it. And Lorcana, if they print like a reasonable amount for a new TCG, it's going to be like $1,000 a box or something stupid. And it's just going to be Bot City. It's going to be 2020 Pokemon, clear shells everywhere. It's going to be a nightmare. But yeah, that's just the world we live in. Yeah, so Cam says if their fees were cut by 5%, yeah, they would cut them not fully by the 5%, but they would cut them by a large amount. Oh God. I just skipped to the bottom, but very, very scary, very, very scary comments I'm seeing. Dan's my accountant, saved me a fortune. Dan's my financial advisor. Ava's spreadsheets are my financial advisor, and I don't know what was actually on the screen, but I saw something about a plus 29% EV, and I'm just gonna assume that I'm gonna make money opening these Lost Origin boxes. Even though Rev didn't pull one Altar Aerodactyl out of 66 boxes, I'm assuming I'm gonna pull like 4 out of these 2 boxes. So I'll make a bunch of money. Yeah, lowering your rate by 4% would definitely increase customer. Yeah. Can I get a fog machine? Yeah, I've got the light show thing going on. I just need the fog machine. We'll get like a disco ball that can drop down when I press the right button on my stream deck. We'll get it all going. It's a work in progress. Next thing will be longer shelves. I could crop the camera, but I want to show like I want to show more stuff. I'm gonna get a longer shelf that goes off screen. Same over here. And I think I'm gonna get a second shelf. A second shelf that's gonna go here. The pictures are gonna move down so that more of the space is used. I mounted my clock. My clock is actually right here. The really cool clock that I got from Rusty. I might mount like a camera. It would be above my head. It wouldn't interfere with like my day-to-day work. It would be there. It'll be like a clock cam. That every button, when that thing opens and spins and plays music, I can just press a button on my stream deck and it will pop on screen and you'll be able to see it. I've got a lot of plans for like goofy stuff to do. Time that I shouldn't be wasting. I should be listing these 300 cards of my own on eBay. Dan influenced me to quit my job. Oh, God. Oh, Ancient Mew is Logan Paul. That's a new. I heard he was Brad Pitt. I heard he was Brad Paisley. I think he has a lot of speculation out there as to who he is, but Logan Paul could be him too. Who knows? Oh man, a guy bought a box the last minute and pulled the Aerodactyl. That's awesome. Yeah, Cool Trainer Ryan needs to see the Celebi. That's his card there. I think he's got like 50 of them. Not PSA 10s, but I think he has a few PSA 10s, and then he has a ton of non-graded ones. Worlds in Japan is like, you can never say 0%, you can never say 100%, but like 0.00001%. It is extremely unlikely. I'll probably do the same thing I did this year. I'll probably pick 3 Collecticons to go to, and then leave like 1 open for a wild card. Maybe I'll go to one other random thing. But Worlds in Japan is just so unlikely. The amount of time I would have to go for to make it worth like a 12-hour flight or however long the flight is, I'd have to go for like a week or 2. My wife's not going to want to leave the kids that long. She won't want me to leave her with the kids alone that long. It's very, very unlikely, but it would be cool. But I want to go see all 50 states someday. I'm not much of an international traveler, but I do want to go see all 50 states someday. That's like a lifelong goal. So anything stateside that can get me to a new state, like Denver in 4 weeks. That's a new state for me, so that's great. And I can do 4 of those trips in a year for less than the cost of that one world trip to Japan, I'm sure. Oh, right. Yeah, I mean that makes sense. I don't really buy many slabs either. For him to just buy raw and grade, I mean that's he assembled that Celebi collection for much cheaper than if he were to be buying them graded, surely. So yeah, he's probably not going to buy it. He has 50 of them. Yeah, that's actually another implication too. I have multiple people consigning with me internationally because my market in the US is so much bigger and the liquidity is so much higher. So like social security numbers and all the things that would be needed here are like US side only. I'm not going to be able to report, like, it wouldn't even be called a 1099. I don't know what it would be called. So when I send money internationally via ACH in GBP or in euros or in whatever, it's fully on the individual to report taxes. So much of our tax system comes down to, like, obviously if you're a W-2 employee, the W-2 goes to the IRS. The withholding is done every paycheck period. There's no getting around it. But if you run your own business, Not tax advice, not advocating for anything, but if you're dealing in cash, it's a merit system. It's an honor-based system. They can't, like, I think that's why 10, 20, 50 years from now, I could see our society going to a completely cashless. I could almost see the government banning cash, because all this talk about like Bitcoin being used for tax evasion and being used for nefarious whatever, cash is and always is, has and always will be the single biggest currency, the single biggest facilitator of like tax evasion. That's just the fact of like, because when you send PayPal friends and family, when you send an ACH transfer into a bank account, if I ACH pay out someone 10 grand, I'm not going to 1099 them because I don't have to. Their bank might do something. There are certain instances where banks have to report large payments, where banks have to report whether it's one singular large payment, whether it's multiple over a year. So even though I'm not 1099ing, someone might get like their bank to report something, whether it's a big PayPal friends and family transfer or whether it's a big ACH. Like, it's on the individual to do their reporting. So yeah, it's your patriotic duty to pay your taxes. So yeah. Here's a oh, that's wicked funny. Can you talk about dependence on your tax forms? I bought a few cards during the peak, and it certainly feels like I'm supporting people. Yeah, I was financially a dependent to many, many people that bought $1,000 EVs from me and $6,000 base unlimited Charizards from me. That's a good one. Hold the gold dark patch and gold Giratina V-Star. Open 2 ETBs and the kids open the packs. Nice. Get to the box. When was this comment? This comment, oh god, this comment was 9 minutes ago. How long ago did I say I was going to open a box? I'm going to go open it now. Yeah. Tax advice. Say you earn more than you did, works out in your favor. Large corporations and the elite rich get away with taxes, so must be the more you declare, the more you save. So Anthony Henry Hoover has a very interesting strategy. The IRS might hate it. Say you made $1 billion. I heard billionaires don't pay taxes. So just put on your tax forms, not tax advice, that you made $1 billion, and then just your tax is free apparently. Let me get caught up, and then I'm gonna open this box. I quit school because Dan told me I could go full-time Pokemon. Ancient Muse not denying the rumors. That is true. It must be the Brad Pitt, Brad Paisley, or Logan Paul, because he didn't deny it. Quaxley plushies for 400% ROI. Cashless society is the beginning of the end. Yeah. Ancient Muse Elon Musk. There's a new one. I've not sold any of my plushies, but I do have a bunch of them in a tote that are still in bags. Yeah, I don't know about secondhand plushies. I think there are some very rare. Yeah, Julia's saying the same thing. There are very rare, obscure. I think like Entai-Roku Suicune. I think there are some very, very rare ones in there. G1T Landon wants his hot take on screen. There we go. You got your screen time for a second. Here we go. Oh, I went to the wrong one again. We're going to open a box of Lost Origin. We're going to heed the financial advice of all the PokeTubers that say that you make money and you get big pulls. Let me keep it on screen so people know there's no funny business. I did see the Reseal King Knowledge cards in stream earlier, so I want him to know when I pull like 36 alt arts, I want him to know that there was no resealing going on. I got to keep everything on screen. But yeah, let's open some Lost Origin and see what we get. Maybe we can make a short. So let me try to keep everything really organized just in case we have to make a short. I'm going to leave this one on screen. It's going to look like it's rigged, but I'm going to one pack an Altar Aerodactyl. It would make for quite the short. And I failed. I'm going to give away all the code cards because I don't do anything with them. I'm going to rip them in half so that I know I gave away just in case I ever try to sell them, but I haven't in a long time. Yeah. Reseal King. Oof. Tough nickname to get. Yeah. I think he'll wear it like a badge of honor. I think he's proud of his abilities. All those videos that he does. Yeah, Mr. Walrus. So I sold UFO box breaks at release. I think that's something I'm going to do at release of every MetaZoo set. But I don't know that I want to get into that for Pokemon. The space is so much more competitive, and there's so many guys doing a great job of it already. I'm sure there are a lot of MetaZoo breakers too. I'm just less involved in that space, and that's like the one way that I interact with it. So I oh, if you want to pay $600, I'll open I'll be a Pokemon opener for $600. So there we go. We got I believe Cool Trainer Ryan calls it a double banger. I don't know if he was the first one to call it that though. I think that's a common terminology. But we got the double banger code for someone. Getting rough hits to start. We got a lot of non-hollow packs. Hopefully save the hits for later. I really like, I mentioned it in my video that went live Monday. I think I just put my finger over the code and I only showed the QR code there. Sorry for that one. But somebody told me on my video that this border has to do with the way these cards interact with the Lost Zone. There is a game, for anyone who's unfamiliar, there's a game you can play with these cards. Never played it myself. But yeah, I mentioned how I really like that border that was around some of the cards, and somebody told me in the comments that it's to do with the Lost Zone. It's to do with the Lost Zone for the game. Like that one has it too. Pretty cool. There's a big hitter. We got a regular hollow, which people love to get as their hit for a pack. Yeah, I'm supposed to cover the QR code and show the letters. What would you say the best card to pull is besides Alt Arts and Lost Origin? I would have to go to TCG Player. I genuinely have no idea. As far as like best card, I don't even know. Like, I haven't seen the full set. Maybe it's one of the gold cards. It's definitely not the Pidgeot V. Maybe it's maybe it's one of the gold cards. There's like a gold. What did I just pull? Oh, here they are. I do have my pulls from the other box I can show after I open these two boxes. But like, I didn't just pull this now, but this is probably one of the better hits, I would assume. The gold Pikachu. Yeah, Lost Zone equals out of play. Yeah, Pikachu VMAX. There we go, Rusty. Shout out TCA Gaming. Heard you pulled the Aerodactyl Alt Art. Congrats on the pull. I hope you are doing the right thing. You should definitely be making a short out of that, or have Pokemon DNA. There's a Radiant. Have Pokemon DNA make you a short out of that and tag PokeRevenant. That's like the big YouTuber play. If you're playing the algorithm, doing the game right, you got to get that. Oh, is Gold Pika only $12? That seems cheap, but I don't know. This is ultra mass printed, ultra modern. So gold Giratina V-Star. I think I opened that one maybe Monday, or maybe I opened it over the weekend. I had one of my friends visiting from college. We didn't get quite as degenerate as Jake and I did, but we opened product till like 4 in the morning. We had some beers, and he doesn't do Pokemon at all, so he was having a lot of fun with it. I thought I had a gold. Maybe I didn't. Oh yeah, right there. This one maybe. So this is one that I opened. I either opened it Monday in my video, or I opened it over the weekend with one of my old roommates from college visited this weekend. Yeah, you gotta have an O face in the thumbnail too. So Rusty, get DNA on that. Get him on that short idea, because that's a winner right there. I'm sure Pokerev will appreciate it too. He knows the hustle. He knows the game. Nick's a good guy. I only met him very briefly, but I met him like pre-YouTube channel. I think he started his YouTube channel like a month after 2019 Worlds, where I met him very briefly. But I've talked to him over the years a little bit here and there from E4 days and all that. Just say one, yeah. That's got to be like a miserable live stream experience. When if I open every pack just prepping for a short, like I don't care about, if I were to not care about my live viewership and just be like, here we go, first pack, 1-pack magic, and then open, people probably do that. People probably do that like off stream, just recording for like 3 hours, saying first pack magic, last pack magic, every single pack. And then they just make a short out of the one thing. Or you could just edit it too. You could, I mean, this day and age, technology, we have technology. You could just edit it to where you say first pack magic, and then yeah. I'm spending all my money on visual and audio wizardry instead of sleeves. These things, like, they're going to go into my binder. I'm going to make my own set. If I have duplicates, they're going to go to TrollandToad EVO. TrollandToad EVO sells as near mint. They don't sell like gem mint cards, so they don't sell cards as gem mint. So yeah, I'm not going to sleeve like ultra modern. If I pull an alt art, I probably will. But even then, maybe I won't. I don't know. If I don't open 73 boxes, Pokemartin's unsubbing. Well, it was good to have you as a sub while I did. Because I only have 2 boxes handy. I only have 2 boxes here. But I'll open both. I'll open this one now, and then I'll take a break for like 15 or 20 minutes, hang out with chat, and then I'll open another one. The oh, there we go. Hollow Gengar and a trainer gallery. The trainer galleries do just make the box feel a lot better. It makes it feel a lot better spending $80 or spending $100, $150 someday maybe, if this box goes to that. It makes it feel better when you're getting more hits. Like, even though a trainer's gallery is not like kind of like the amazing rares were in Shining Fates, Vivid Voltage, things like that. Wow, gold Giratina is $40 ish. That's pretty solid. Fantina full art. Nice. Keep hitting me with questions though while I'm opening. I'm terrible as far as like, I'm not gonna give you good commentary. I'm not a pack breaker. I'm not gonna give you good commentary, big reactions while I'm opening packs. We got the back-to-back Z&G Emporiums there. Shout out to Cam and James if Cam's still watching. Back-to-back Sudowoodo. So yeah, feel free to leave me questions in the comments that I can answer while I'm opening, just so that there's not too much awkward silence. You ready for Denver? Absolutely. Got a rainbow rare there. I don't know what the deal is with those V-Star cards, but I think you use them like in the game instead of like energies. I guess it's better than an energy card, but yeah, as far as like what I'm bringing, things like that, I have my flight booked. My wife's coming too, so our flights are booked. Hotel still hasn't been announced, so I'm not ready as far as like, I don't have a place to stay yet. But I did look near the venue. I think there's like multiple hotels. There's a lot of availability right there. It's going to look more like, for anyone who went, it's going to look more like an Orlando situation where the hotels are really close. Whereas in Charlotte, the hotels were like miles away, which was kind of a pain. But yeah, I don't have like inventory ready. I like the week of, like that Monday, I'll gather a few things together. Hopefully I'll get some returns between now and then, but even if I don't, I have like over 1,000 items in my eBay store. I can definitely find stuff to bring. I'll get together like 20 to 40 slabs to bring, and I'll bring a handful of heavy packs. Other than that, my packing will take like 30 minutes, so it'll be easy. How do you feel? Oh, wait, I accidentally clicked on one. What's your experience with selling graded miscut cards? I've sold very, very few. Illiquid, niche, slate premium, maybe a higher premium if it's like a really high-end species. If it's a very popular species, maybe you'll get more of a premium. But the few that I've ever had, very small premium, generally in like absolute dollar terms, maybe a high premium in percentage-wise. Oh, I missed the Radiant Sneasler. I probably did. um Appreciate that, Julia. How do you feel about CGC's video game grading? Let me see. Somebody said that in my comments on Monday too, that I missed let me see. There we go. I did. I missed a couple Radiant cards apparently on Monday as well in my opening. How do you feel about CGC's video game grading? I like the look of the case. Let me just pull it up on Instagram quick. Let me see which tab I have shared with this one, I think. So yeah, CGC is doing video games soon. I think they announced it a year ago. Maybe it's still going to be a while. I honestly have no idea. But they recently posted a picture. Was it in a story? Sorry, I'm looking through CGC stories right now. I don't know where they posted it. I must have saw, I'm not going to look through my whole Instagram feed. I definitely saw someone posted it though. If anyone knows where and can like DM me a link on Instagram, I can pop it up on screen. But yeah, I don't want to spend the whole time trying to find that. To me, they look pretty cool. I'll probably grade with them. I only have like a couple PC games, so maybe they won't even be grading what I have. But I do have a couple games on hand that I want to get graded just from like my childhood. Aerodactyl V full art. But I think it's pretty cool. The gold peak is a trainer gallery card without a trainer. Did it not have a trainer? Yeah, that's weird. It's TG29, and I don't see a trainer. Maybe it's behind. Maybe it's behind Gigantamax Pikachu. Maybe he's riding on his back or something. Mr. Walrus says, if I collect every card, will my father finally be proud of me? If he's a good father, he will be. If that's what makes you happy, and your goal is to collect every card, and you achieve it, your father should be proud of you. If he's not, that's on him, not on you, in my opinion. I'm staying at the Slate. Collecticon taking too long to announce the hotel. Ava with a harsh no. Your father will not be proud of you if you collect every card. That is harsh. Oh, here we go. That's must have hit a difficult thing there, because apparently it didn't work for her. Sorry to hear that. Fire Roar Hollow, big hitter. Code card. That's harsh. Congrats on collecting every card though. Have you wanted a master set of any Sword Shield set? Not only no, I don't want a master set of any set with reverse hollows. I don't do reverse hollows at all. I don't really do variants much. I do one variant of each art. I want one of each unique art, and that's enough for me. I just I don't really care to have twice as many cards in the binder. So many people in the hobby, it's funny, like such a common thing. Some people genuinely, legitimately have OCD, but it's a very common thing to say like, oh, I'm so OCD, all my labels need to match, all this, all that. I don't have OCD by any stretch of the imagination, but like, I don't like the feel of a binder when you have a master set and on the front you have the regular and on the back you have a reverse, but then you get to the Vs and the full arts and the EXs and there's no card to put behind it. Like, that just throws off the feel of my binder. I want one of every set. I want no gaps in it. So I do a complete set, no reverse hollows. I don't do a master set. No theme deck variants, no blister variants, nothing like that. That's just the way, that's the ideal way to collect for me. It's cheaper, it's easier, it's less cumbersome, and it's a cleaner look when I go through the binder. Oh, CGC Video Games is a new account. That makes sense. Let me CGC. I'll finish up this box before I show because I only have like 4 more packs until I get that Aerodactyl alternate art. Or a Delphox V. Close enough. Yeah, a complete binder of alt arts would be a really cool. Like I'm a binder collector. I do binders of every like main. I really like that Pikachu art of every main English set. But someday when I have time, I have no idea what that day will be. But someday I would love to do an amazing rare. Well, it wouldn't be it would be like a binder page, but a gold star section, an amazing rare section, just like all the subsets. Like don't take them out of my main binders. Like just do a secondary one, and that would be really cool. Alt arts would be a beautiful binder, expensive binder, but it would definitely be beautiful. I don't know if Aerodactyl's gonna happen. Doesn't look great. Ready? We're gonna say it. We're gonna look at the camera. Last pack magic. We're gonna see if we can hit that last pack magic. And scrap that clip. That is not gonna become a short. It didn't work. Here we go. CGC Video Games. Ooh, I like it. Yeah, when was this account created? Let me scroll back. So I'm currently scrolling back as far as it goes. Okay. So 49 weeks ago, almost a year ago, CGC Video Games created their Instagram page and they've posted all these posts. A lot of stuff going on. So many posts. That's why I haven't followed them, I guess. Let me follow them now. Now they're worth following because they actually have a case. Holder reveal. So I'm assuming they're still like weeks, months maybe away from actually encasing games. One comment that I saw that was actually like hilarious. SNES, I get it. Like, yeah, that's like base first. That's like, well, not base first. That's like WotC first edition. It makes sense. Grade it. Yeah, good stuff. Pokemon Sword for Switch. PS4 Sonic. So they're already grading like ultra modern, ultra modern video games. It's gonna be a play. I guarantee it. Like I grade ultra modern packs. I take a $5 pack. I grade it for $25. Now 50 is the new floor. Well, the new lowest cost of grading as of today. PSA 10s of ultra modern packs sell for like 100 to $200. It's crazy. These games, say it's a $60 game, say it's a $40 grading fee, that stupid game will probably sell for like $200, $300. It shouldn't, in my opinion. It's crazy, but that's gonna absolutely be a play. And who am I to say anything negative towards it? Because you know what I did when I ordered a bunch of Switch games for my son for his birthday. Well, I ordered a bunch of games. He's only gotten one so far. So he got one for his birthday. He'll probably get one for Christmas. But I ordered like 3 new Pokemon Snap because I'm gonna grade one. Because why not? I ordered like 3 Super Mario World or Super Mario, whatever the one is for Switch, Super Mario Party. I don't feel good about it, but like I'm gonna make those plays. It's crazy. The video game grading is sick. I really like the case. I've heard some negative things. I think James actually said something negative about it. I think it looks cool though. I don't think he liked that the tab was like a different thickness than the main case, but to me, by the image, like I haven't had one in hand, obviously, but to me, first impression, I like it. Let's see what we've got. I'm out here answering the hard questions seriously. Yeah, sarcasm's hard to pick up in text, so I just assume every comment is like full 100% serious. And what could go wrong? Just answer everything. In your personal opinion, how? Oh, I don't have my highlighted message here. Why don't I have my highlighted message? Oh, because it's below the window capture. So, in your personal opinion, how important is it to wait 30 minutes to swim after a meal? That's a myth. I believe that's a myth. Please don't go drown because I steered you wrong. I'm just a guy on YouTube, but I've my whole life I've swam immediately while eating or after eating, never caring about it. I believe that's a myth. Not swim advice, not health advice. Please don't drown. I just put the reverse in front, 2 cards, 1 slot. Oh, old school. That is very old school. Baby shiny binder. Jake's already got 20 of them, I'm sure. They'll be fully open first of the year, but we'll take first submissions at a convention in the coming months. Oh, maybe they'll be taking submissions at Denver. That'd be cool. Dan, yeah, absolutely. I don't know if you said this before or after I said that I bought duplicates of ultra modern games to grade, but you probably said it before, and that's hilarious because I've been buying all the recent Pokemon games and I haven't been playing them. So when Scarlet and Violet come out, I'll probably buy like 3 of each just so that I can grade 1 or 2 of each. Oh, there we go. Johnny boy, if you can DM me that, if you can link me that, I'd be really interested to see. Maybe I'd be afraid to see, but I would be interested. I'm gonna make a note to look for that. Let me actually go back. We showed that. Let me go back full screen. Let me see. IRS PowerPoint on consigning. But if you can DM me that, I would very much appreciate it. If not, I made a note to try to find it. Switch Sword and Shield VGA is like $300. What are we doing here? In ZNG Emporium's voice. It's the world we live in. I bet you Switch Sword and Shield VGA graded at 300. I guarantee you that's more liquid than like a vintage sealed box that should be worth more. Again, the market doesn't care about your feelings, blah blah blah, all that good stuff. But like, in my opinion, there's probably a $300 vintage game that's much more reasonably priced at 300, but it's probably way less liquid than Sword and Shield VGA for the same price. It's crazy. Brilliant Star sold for $117 yesterday, and Alpha Sapphire for $650. Wada case is the best of the 3. I need to get one in hand. I did for the first time ever in Charlotte. I went to a booth and I held for the first time ever a Wada, I think it was a Wada 9.2 or Wada 9.4 Pokemon Yellow. I was contemplating buying it, actually. I was contemplating buying my first game. The price seemed semi-reasonable for what it was. I'm sure it could have been talked down. But a Wada 9.2 or 9.4, there was a big impression right in Pikachu's face. There was like a poke into the box. Not even like just an indent where like the integrity of the box was broken. Like you could see brown cardboard in the indent because it actually tore through. Like I could press down on this and you could indent the box without breaking the integrity of it. That would be not great, but it wouldn't be as bad. But like when you actually break it and you see cardboard like in Pikachu's face, how does that get a 9.2 or a 9.4? Like what would be a 5? What would be a 3? Mythbusters debunked it. So yeah, if you drown after swimming within 30 minutes, or if someone you know does, sue Mythbusters, not me. Not swimming advice. I'm calling my accountant and my mom after this is over. They failed me with their advice. This is not medical advice. If I eat right before going for a run, it hurts. So maybe there's some truth to the swimming thing, not financial advice. Yeah, running makes sense. I back when I used to do anything physical, I really need to get, I can't wait until my kids get into sports as they get a little bit older. I need to start doing something physical again. I used to play pickup basketball, pickup volleyball, pickup softball. Then we had kids and that just went away. But like way back in the day, just to stay in shape for sports in high school and in college, I would like do some 5Ks and 10Ks, 15Ks. I remember I would always do like a fairly light breakfast quite a ways in advance. But one time I ate like a granola bar and I drank some Powerade too close, and yeah, that didn't last past like 5K into the 10 or 15K. That was not, that is running advice. Like, don't eat breakfast right before. Don't. The Office is a hilarious show. Michael Scott carbo loading pasta right before they're like 5K or whatever. Yeah, don't do that. uh Arceus is the closest thing we got to Breath of the Wild. Hisoka back on the Evo team. Yeah, nobody's really hit me with Evo questions. I mentioned it very briefly. I did put it in my title thinking someone would be in here, but I've heard of multiple people. So if you were culled, if you didn't get in on the Evo first cut, reach out back to them. Worst thing they can say is no. Like, worst thing they can say is you're still booted. But I've heard of multiple people, 3 people at least, saying that I was booted initially. I got the email saying I was going to be gone. I reached out to them and now they're going to let me stay. So initially it was only going to be like 15 merchants that were going to exist on the Evo platform, which selfishly was like, oh man, great, my competition's going down. But now I know it's at least 18 now. I feel like it's going to end up at 100 or something. I have no idea how many they have total to begin with, but sounds like they're keeping people who reach back out. I don't think Evo stands for anything specifically. I think it's short for like evolution. I think it's the evolution of selling is what they were going for. I'm not positive though. About time to start grading my Pet Rock collection. If I think Pet Rock was like a 70s or 80s thing. If Pet Rocks, that was like actually a thing for any, like, I'm very young relative to Pet Rocks, but I'm aware that they were a thing. Big thing. The guy who invented Pet Rocks made like a lot of money back in the 70s or 80s. If those came out today, people would be grading them. Like, that's the world we live in today. How much was the yellow version? It was a few grand. I forget exactly. I think prices have come down since that convention, so it's a good thing I waited. Plus, I also realized, like, per VGA scale, I'm going to want at least a 9.4 or a 9.6, so it's probably significantly more money than I want to spend on a graded video game right now. But the SNES CGC case looks crazy with a bulged out game and label in the back. I don't know if I even noticed that fully. Do they show a back picture of it? Oh, they have a video, it looks like. I'll have to watch the video. They have a video they posted yesterday, 55 minutes long on Instagram. I'll have to check that out. I'm assuming they do like a full reveal, full turnaround. This day and age we have technology. Why am I not playing basketball with Jake right now? Jake lives too far away. If he lived down the road from me, we'd be like live streaming basketball games periodically, I'm sure. But unfortunately, I live in the woods. No one that I know in real life wants or cares about Pokemon. So I do have, I have a small friends group and cousins, and like all of us have kids now though. Like we're all in that part of our lives together. Most of us, not all of us, but so many of us that used to play the pickup softball, the pickup volleyball. We used to play kickball, floor hockey. Like we used to just get together at a local skating arena, which over the summer obviously doesn't have ice for hockey. Over the summer, it was just like an indoor. I mean, you could play whatever there. We just get together and play whatever, have a good time. And now, like, we all have kids and stuff, so it's so hard to do things like that. I don't want to say live, like, people's numbers. Obviously, I wouldn't time to people's names or anything, but you told me roughly what yours were. I know people who were in the ballpark of you that are retained Hisoka. I don't know, like, no one hit me up and said, oh yeah, I'm selling 500 a month. I asked them if I could stay and they said yes. Like, I think they're going to get rid of everyone that's like really, really low. It's hard to say what the actual amount is. I don't really know. I think I've actually gotten some DMs. Let me see if it's anything I asked to share. Oh no, it's not. So yeah, Evo, for anyone unfamiliar, TrollandToad EVO. If you've been following me for a long time, if you've been following me for a long, long time, I've been on YouTube for like a year and a half now, which is crazy. I made videos a little over a year ago, probably a year and a half ago to like a year ago. I made 4 or 5 videos. I think I was doing a monthly Evo video for a short period. It's this program where it's basically like fulfillment by Amazon. You send your stuff into them, you do the pricing, they do the order fulfillment, they do everything, all the customer service, everything. And they charge a very reasonable fee for it. You have to pay a monthly fee to access it. You have to pay storage fees for the items that you have there. All in all, though, amazing program. I couldn't recommend it anymore. That said, it's closed now. Not actionable advice, not actionable recommendation for today. So like 2 weeks ago, three weeks ago, they sent me an email saying, hey, you're one of 15 exclusive merchants who are going to continue on the platform. We're going to downsize like everyone else. So I'm like, oh, that's great. Well, they sent out the bulk email to everyone like a week ago or a few days ago. Hey, you're being downsized. You're not one of the 15 people. Well, now some of the people that are being downsized, it's like, I understand my account is tiny. It does, like, they're done. Some amount of the people though are like doing high 4, low 5 figures a month, and they're getting downsized. And some of them are reaching back out to TrollandToad. They're like, are you sure I'm banned? Are you sure I'm done? And then TrollandToad's like, nah, I'm just kidding. You can stick around. I don't have any inside information. Evo is such a huge part of my business. I want to continue like talking with them and working with them, partnering with them. It's mutually beneficial. Clearly, they're doing it for a reason. The fees are going up. The pool is being restricted, but I love the service. I could not speak any more highly of it. I think TrollandToad gets so much hate as far as like TrollandToad near mint. I send cards into them. They reject pretty good cards that I would be borderline calling near mint, and they reject them for not being their standards. So if and when you buy a card that doesn't meet their standards, they'll refund you. Like TrollandToad is actually a great selling platform. Not sponsored. I would love to be sponsored by them. TrollandToad, if you're watching, hit me up. catchemallcollectibles@gmail.com. I mean, I email with your Evo team all the time, so hit me up. But yeah, I love their platform, their Evo platform. I love, I don't buy a ton through them because I sell so much through them, but having bought through them a few times, like, they stand by their products. They will return things that are below their condition guidelines. Since you live out in the country with some land, did you plant yourself some fruit trees? We have like berry bushes, which I am not a green thumb. I'm a very terrible with like taking care of plants. All the berry bushes we planted a year or so ago died. Some of them I accidentally ran over with my lawnmower. Ran over with my lawnmower, which was unfortunate. Some of them just died. So I do want to plant some more berry bushes though and not kill them. And then I also want to plant a couple apple trees. So fruit trees and fruit bushes are in the works. Those will be happening at some point soon. Did I say underwater hockey? I may have. Or maybe you were just talking because I said for the summer they like get rid of the ice. But yeah, floor hockey, a lot of fun. Underwater rugby. It felt like a race to the bottom with a lot of new sellers coming in. They definitely dropped a lot of my sales by 20 to 40%. Nick is not still with Evo. Oh yeah, so one thing, if you are one of the people that's getting downsized by Evo, it might be because your volume is too low, or it might be because your items are too cheap. If you were heavily relying on selling in the window of 20 cents to 69 cents per item, that is the window that they are doing away with. I never understood how Evo could fulfill an item that costs 20 cents. I never understood how they could fulfill it and only charge a 50% fee. 50% fee sounds like a lot, but for someone to go in a huge warehouse and pull one ducklet card and make 10 cents profit on that, it never made sense to me. If I go over to my shelf, I have one shelf of singles, Metazoo, Pokemon, everything. They have a warehouse. If I have to pull 100 individual singles from that shelf, that takes me more than an hour. So if I was being paid 10 cents a card to pull, I'm not making $10 an hour. I never understood how they do it. Now they're charging 69 cents minimum. That's the lowest I'll be able to set an individual item on their site. So that's like $35 an hour if they're doing 100 an hour. So Yeah, the change for me completely makes sense. I understand why they had to do it. But Nick got done with Evo like 6 months ago or 9 months ago. I actually bought all his Evo inventory off him. What we did was we reached out to Evo and said, "Hey, is it feasible? Can you transfer all of one merchant's inventory to another's?" I paid him. I actually traded with him. I traded a bunch of singles that he sold on TCG Player. I traded them singles for TCG Player, and he emailed Evo and had them transfer my whole inventory to him. So if you are someone who's being downsized by the whole Evo transition, and if your items aren't primary, like I don't want to buy singles that are sub $1 because those are largely being phased out for Evo merchants. But if your items are $1 to $1,000 a piece, and your volume's just low, reach out to me. Send me your spreadsheet. And if you want me to make an offer on your whole Evo inventory, I will be buying people's Evo inventories in the coming weeks as they transition. Evo TrollandToad has given the green light for that. A couple people reached out to me and I'm like, hey, I don't want to step on TrollandToad's toes if they're going to be offering it for you. But those people emailed TrollandToad. They said, oh yeah, that would be perfectly fine. Like if you want to sell to one of the merchants, reach out to them. You can do all that. So yeah, let me know if you want to sell your whole Evo inventory. I know Ava recently sponsored by Bai. Maybe I'll have to slide into your DMs and figure out how that happened. But I think you talked about it. Maybe that is how yours happened. Maybe that's the easy answer. But I think I remember you like saying, hey, Bai, it would be great if you could sponsor me. And then magically, less than a month later, you had one. So TrollandToad, hit me up. Someone clip this, send it to TrollandToad. Sponsor me up. Give me one of those nice discount codes and affiliate link, all that good stuff. How long before TrollandToad partner with a bigger fish to compete with eBay and TCG Player? Very interesting question. So TCG Player bought Binder and bought Channel Fireball, and then eBay bought TCG Player. What happens when eBay buys TrollandToad? No idea. I would be afraid Evo would go away. I hope it would not. It's like if Evo goes away overnight, it doesn't just like end my business, but it's a big, very beneficial part of my business. It makes things harder for sure. So I hope that doesn't go away. This is something I'm constantly saying, shoot your shot. Worst case they say is no. Very good point, Josh. I should just email them and ask them about it. I really need to do it with Pokemon Center as well. I don't know if they sponsor anybody, but I am constantly singing their praises. eBay, TrollandToad, Pokemon Center would be like my dream 3 sponsors. Maybe Coca-Cola. I was drinking Arnold Palmer today, not Coca-Cola. But Coca-Cola, if you sponsor me, I'll drink like 3 cans of Coke every stream just to make that sponsorship work. When do you think buying X and Y and black and white holos from TrollandToad to grade will be the play? They are so cheap right now. It is crazy. I graded a batch of black and white era holos, and a lot of my holos are like pop 1, pop 2 of like 3 graded. So there might be a play there already. You might have just spoiled it, your average player. Rip to Nick having to deal with the volume he deals with then. I've seen people intentionally run over their berry bushes to promote growth. Oh, mow over. Yeah, this was not that. I mowed over like baby berry bushes that I don't believe are going to survive. Yeah, it's good that Nick broke up with them before they could break up with him, so that's good. He didn't get dumped. Cool. Elon Musk, please sponsor me. So I have 10 minutes left of my stream. Yeah, that's what they're gonna say. Sponsor you? You're lucky we didn't ban you. Consider that your sponsorship. We're gonna up your fees now for asking. Then I'm gonna come back to DeGreen Shiz for the business advice of shooting my shot, and I'm gonna sue him for getting my fees higher. 10 minutes left. Keep coming with the questions if you have them. I'm gonna just turbo rip a box of Lost Origin because I have one more. I really want to get an Altar Aerodactyl, so this one is gonna be like rapid fire. I think Rev, I did watch, like I didn't watch by any means his entire 11-hour stream, but when I heard it was happening and when I heard there were 10,000 concurrent viewers, I popped it on and he was ripping so fast at the end. I think I'm not going to do the code cards for this one because it takes too long. he ripped the box in like 4 minutes or something, which to be fair, when I was mass ripping UFO Metazoo UFO, I think I was doing about 1 box every 5 minutes. I could do 12 boxes an hour, a full 12 box case an hour, so makes sense there. But do you know any of the other 15 sellers? I actually do. I know of at least, so I'm talking like first pass not being banned, I know of at least 2 of so counting me, I know of 3 that weren't banned initially. Not gonna say who they are. I don't know if anyone else is publicly talking about that, but I know of 3 that were like first wave acceptance, and I know of 3 more that have Hisoka included. I'm only saying that publicly because he did. So I know of 6 total that will be Evo merchants after the ban. After the ban is the wrong word. After the downsizing. Yeah, 3 Cokes a stream, not health advice. But if Coke's gonna pay me the right amount, there's certainly an amount that I would do that. Yeah, Rev opened a case in 20 minutes at the end. He was I watched like 3 of them on mute. Was it Thursday night? I think it was Thursday night because, or no, maybe it was it was either Thursday, Sunday, or Monday night because football was on. I had football on the TV. I had Rev muted on one screen. I was listening eBay on the other, and then I had some podcast minimized. I forget which podcast it was, but I listened to a lot of Pokemon podcasts, some financial podcasts. So I had a muted football game, a muted PokeRev, and then I was listening to the audio at 1.5x. That's like my productivity of consuming content is like 3 pieces of content all at once. Yeah, Rev's a monster. He's oh, there we go. We got an upside down Inkay. It's got the right side up back, but it came upside down in the pack. I should send that to CGC. So I opened it on stream, so I should be able to get like a pedigree that was upside down in the pack. Get the major value. Oh, there we go. Radiant Sneasler. I almost missed again. Do you think Denver will have us sleeping on the sidewalk since they won't announce the hotel? If it's the week of and they haven't announced, I'm assuming 2 or 3 weeks out, I'm assuming they would just say like, hey, we're sorry, we weren't able to get a partnership deal, like go book a hotel now. I'm assuming they would say that. They wouldn't just leave people up until like the day before. If people were to wait till the day before to try to save 20 or 30 bucks, they would be kind of crazy. Like I'm going to book a week or 2 out, probably just one of the close ones. I am in upstate New York. Where I live, I should be a Bills fan. Like my county has to be majority Bills fans. I'm actually a Jets fan because for whatever reason. Yeah, when I was growing up, my parents only watched NASCAR, which is kind of funny. They don't watch it anymore, but I grew up on Jeff Gordon. Like a lot of people are born into their fandom. So the fandom that I was born into was Jeff Gordon, the Rainbow Warrior. I don't watch NASCAR anymore. I haven't in well over probably 2 decades. But somehow, I don't know how, I picked the Jets and I picked the Mets and I picked the Rangers. Obviously New York teams, but like being in New York, if I lived in Minnesota, it would have been the Twins and it would have been the Wild. It would have been like I would have had less options. But being in New York, I had the Yankees or the Mets, and I went for the Mets. I had the Jets, the Giants, the Bills, and I went for the Jets. And before someone says it, someone's going to make the joke that the Jets play in New Jersey. Maybe they won't, but yeah. And then I picked the Rangers over the Sabres and the Islanders. Again, like I don't know exactly why, but I picked those teams on my own. Let me catch up on chat. So is TrollandToad clearing space and for what? No, I think it literally just came down to, as I said, they were selling 20-cent singles for people. With their, like, they have a finite amount of space and they have a finite amount of labor. They have a finite amount of time. They were paying their employees to fulfill 20-cent singles and only making 10-cent profit on that. Well, not 10-cent profit, 10-cent gross minus their overhead. Like, and they were doing that. Like when you're fulfilling a 20-cent single, that takes the same amount of time as it does to fulfill a $20 single that you make like $3 on. So it never made sense to me how they did stuff so cheap, but they're literally just doing it to make their numbers make more sense, to make it's a profitability and a space thing, I'm sure. Appreciate it, Zard Hunter. Hit the like button. We've got 33 likes and 55 watching. Yeah, football team's the Jets. Pokesmoke's bringing his own cardboard box so he has a place to sleep. With the amount of adult beverages that I usually consume, I probably could sleep on the sidewalk by the end of the night. Another option is just not sleeping. So I've talked about this story before. When I went to Nashville Worlds in 2018, my wife allowed me to go. We had like a 1-month-old. So I went for one night. I flew in at like 6 a.m. and I flew out the next day at like 6 a.m. So I red-eyed in and I red-eyed out. I didn't get a hotel. I didn't go to sleep. That was one night. It wouldn't, like, I'm older now. I'm 4 years older now. It wouldn't be as sustainable. Plus my wife's coming too. So like we're going to have to get a room. But yeah, I went to Nashville Worlds and I didn't get a room. We stayed out till 3 a.m. at the bars until the bars closed. Then when the bars closed, I went back to Zach's room, Gem at Pokemon, and we went live on Instagram and we like opened one of his returns. By the time that was over, it was like 4:30 and it was time to go to the airport. That was a wild trip. That's a really cool Orbital V. NASCAR / MetaZoo collab incoming. Next MetaZoo hour, I'll have to just DM Mike that to try to get that collab going. Yeah. The goddamn Jets. What is that? Big Daddy. Born into being a Skins fan. Name changed me to being a Commanders fan. I booked my hotel a couple weeks ago. I'd be careful because several hotels within walking distance are already sold out for that weekend. Ugh, yeah, that sucks. Oh, it looks like we've got people's teams playing each other, which is always fun. Does anyone else do any of the betting apps? So the betting apps became legal in New York last year, the start of this year, actually. I've had great success so far. This is not life advice. This is not financial advice. If you have an addictive personality, which I think a lot of us in the Pokemon space do, because this is gambling too. Like when you open one of these packs, I've had so much fun. Like if I'm watching a game, even if it's only $5, if I have $5, a $5 bet on the outcome of the game, it makes it so much more entertaining to watch. It makes it more frustrating when you lose, but like it hypes everything up. It makes the stakes higher. So yeah, I've been having fun on the various betting apps. I'm not sponsored by any, so I'm not gonna shout any out. But there we go, double banger. Giratina V-Star and a Radiant Steelix. Plus fantasy football. I recently did, first time ever, I did a Calcutta where every team in the league is auctioned. The Super Bowl winner gets 32%. That's the whole last pack magic. Gotta say it to the camera. Nothing. So yeah, I did a Calcutta where every team is auctioned off just for whatever they go for. There's a minimum $5 bet, no maximum. Every league would be different, but the Super Bowl winner gets 32% on down to like if you get last in the division, you get 1%. If you miss the playoffs, you get nothing. But if you make the playoffs, you get 1%. Every win you double. So 2% for winning the first round, or 2% for making the playoffs, 4% for winning one game, 8%, 16%, and then 32% for winning the Super Bowl. Pretty cool concept. But I also do like traditional fantasy football as well. I'm in 2 different leagues. So much fun, the football season. I love football. I can't, like tonight, I'm going to be watching the game on the TV over there. I'm going to have eBay up. I'm going to have a podcast up. Great time. Love football. There we go. Mike grew up with 24 as well, the Rainbow Warrior. I think we're the same age. We grew up with Jordan Griffey, Steve Young, Brett Favre. Unfortunately, like I wasn't watching football, basketball, baseball, any of those sports, hockey. I was just watching NASCAR for the first several years of my life because that's all my parents would like put on. Like you as a child are so influenced by what your parents do, what your parents like, and my parents like NASCAR, so that's what I watched. But it is what it is. I've picked my own teams. It's funny because like now my parents don't watch NASCAR anymore. Now they watch the Rangers. Now like they don't watch the Jets too much, but they watch the Rangers the most. I influenced my parents' sports teams. Usually it's the other way around, which was really funny. I'm gonna catch up on chat and then I'm gonna call it a day. It just hit 4:30, so I'm officially working for free now. My boss stops paying me at 4:30. What a terrible guy. Lord Pokesmoke's going to the Bears Commanders game Thursday before Denver. Then when you said it doesn't make sense in the past, you didn't put the not financial advice banner and they listened to you. You have blood on your hands. The company I used to work for had departments lose money consistently, but because the company as a whole made money, they looked past it since it was an essential part of the company. I don't know what that's... Oh yeah, TrollandToad EVO. To an extent, that makes sense. One way, like my company definitely had... We like the company I used to work for, we had extremely profitable businesses that they would only do business. They would only buy X from us if we also sold them Y. We sold Y at a loss, but we justified it directly. It was directly tied to selling X. So like say you're giving away car mats. Like this was an analogy I used to always talk to my coworkers because I was the engineer. Some of the production guys would be like, why are we in the business for this product when it doesn't make money? I would say picture it as we're selling cars. Product X is an automobile. We're selling a car for 30 grand and we're giving them at a loss floor mats. We make the floor mats. It costs us $50 to make them. We could sell the floor mats for $100, but instead we give them away with every car for a loss of $50. We're really not losing money on the car mats because it's baked in elsewhere in the car. Like we could just increase the car by $50. So that's the way that I used to explain it to people that I worked with. TrollandToad EVO, maybe they got by saying like fairly analogous to what Nick does. Nick sells 99-cent singles on eBay. He loses money if he sells one, but if he sells more, if he sells 2 or 3 or 5, or if they buy a 99-cent single and they buy a $50 graded card, then he makes money. Well, TrollandToad probably got by with that logic for a while, but then at some point it's like push comes to shove. Let's just up our minimum to 69 cents. And if it makes more sense, who knows? Maybe they do it for a few months and they realize that, hey, we actually liked it better before. I don't think that would be the case. I would be very shocked if that were the case, but just spitballing some ideas. I'm interested to see how it goes, but I think she'll hang. We got together in college. Back in 2010, we started dating. She used to hang out. I mean, I had some good times in college, and she'd be right there watching my degeneracy, partaking to some extent, but not as much these days. She is a mother now. I'm also a father, but yeah, I mean, live on YouTube for 8.5 hours, I showed what I'm capable of as far as adult beverage consumption. Zach is crazy with the pizzas. In Charlotte, we were in our Airbnb. He DoorDashed like 4 DiGiorno's and then cooked them all. We ate like 1 or 2 of them, and then 2 DiGiorno's just sat on our stovetop while we were at the convention the whole day Saturday or Sunday. Yeah, he DoorDashed at like 3 or 4 a.m. DiGiorno pizzas from like Walgreens. And then we ended up staying up till 6 and sleeping for 2 hours. It was hilarious. There we go. We got a bet going down. I like that. There we go. $30 lick on DraftKings off $5 this past weekend. The promos are obscene. The promos are actually insane. I made like 4 figures last year betting. I mean, obviously I was betting pretty big, but I put in a few $100 into each app. They'd risk free first bet. They'd match so many first bets. Yeah, not financial advice, but the promotions out there are real. It's been a lot of fun. Want to enjoy a game more, bet your mortgage, then you have to win. Yeah, not advice there. I live like 10 minutes from a casino, which Nick and I hit up when he came. Thanks for stopping in, everybody. I'm going to be catching up to the live chat, and then I'll be ending. Thanks, Mew, for being here. Thanks, UAP. Sent link in Pokenomics Discord. Thank you. So you're saying buy Nick's singles one at a time? Yeah, because then he loses money. Go to Nick's TCG player and buy 1 99-cent single. Great stream, or his eBay, even better. Thanks, everyone, for watching. 50 people at the end. Very solid stream. We did not get the Aerodactyl alt art, but we still had a lot of fun. Josh is trying to keep me here longer.